Hello, students. It's good to see you. I didn't post a lecture for last week, and I wanted to just follow up this week to just check in and see how everyone was doing. If you'll notice, there is kind of a shift to the structure of class, and that's because we're entering the second half of the course. So, what we're doing now is we're really focusing on and honing in as we continue to work our way through the book, the Patent and Canon book. We're trying to hone in on things and topics that interest us most. And we're also kind of diversifying our options for other supplemental sources that we're looking at. So I want you to pay close attention to that, and there's a reason for that. Additionally, instead of doing kind of more isolated work, you'll notice that I've asked you to start doing most of your assignments directly on the forum. And that's because this component of focusing our dialogue with each other is, to me, the most essential part of doing philosophy because it needs to be done in a highly dialogical setting. And we need to hear each other's experiences and reflections and thoughts. So that is the reason for this shift. The second reason for the shift is because we are moving towards units 3 and 4, which are the second half of the class, and they begin at week 9. So that's next week they actually begin. And you have spring break coming up. I promise I don't assign anything the week of spring break, obviously, but I do have a message for you. So make sure you check it. I am going to go through the structure of weeks 8 through 17 with you very quickly, just to check in with you, support you, and let you know what's going on, okay? So starting here at week 8, this is free will part 2. The reason there are 2 weeks for free will is because usually I find that there is a lot of student interest in this topic, especially when it comes to its connection, its inherent connection with kind of our own system of belief as Christians, because as diverse as the philosophical notions are of free will, they are just as diverse in our various denominations of Christianity. So people find this topic especially interesting and typically enjoy thinking and talking about it. So it might be a topic that you end up kind of focusing on as we move towards your final project, which I'll talk to you about in just a few minutes, okay? So preview of next unit. This is not for week 8. You do not have to do this top section for week 8. This is a preview of what is to come. Unit 3 is a short unit because it also I think it's week 10 is spring break. So it's actually only 3 weeks. So it's going to fly by. Okay. So I want you to know that in the next unit, okay, so we're with in the preview right here. We'll be considering human action through the lens of philosophy, theology, fiction writing, design, science, anything that we do here on this planet together. And in our various disciplines, we're going to consider the relationship with that and and it's called ethics. Generally speaking, it's called ethics. So that's where we're looking for weeks 9 and 12. So just wanting you to know the focus so you'll be ready for that shift. I also have a tip here. In weeks 13 through 17, so that's unit 4, that's another preview, you'll be developing your own project where A, you choose one of the topics introduced in the course, and B, you connect it to a real world context. So to give you an example of this, I've had students in the past focus on like urban planning and architecture and the ethics of that and how it impacts human life. So that would be one example. So you're choosing a topic and then you're choosing like a real world scenario to discuss that topic within. So I want you to start to be mindful of the topics you've read about in the book and even moving forward in the next few weeks, because I want you to be thinking about the topics you've really enjoyed to start considering how you could start creating kind of a source page, whether that's like a Microsoft Doc or a Google Doc or whatever you use. Just maybe start moving some names of sources there that you found especially interesting, because that could really help you with your essay and then subsequent final presentation. So the essay that I'm going to have you write in unit 4, 3 and 4, you'll start it in unit 3, and then in and it moves into Unit 4 is the content that you'll use for your final for this entire course, which is just a presentation. Okay, so those are linked. Same topic, same content. One is just in essay form and one is in presentation form, just to give you a preview of what's to come. Okay, so for week 8, again, we are getting close to midterm, okay? And just so you know, the midterm will be reported as your current grade, okay? Just so you know. You'll be reviewing chapter 4, which you read in week 7, okay? And then again, you're posting right to the forum, okay? So in task 1, you choose 1 to 2 of the following sources to engage this week after you've reviewed chapter 4. And you want to be sure to choose the sources that interest you most. Again, there's this shift, right? You're really trying to focus on the things that you enjoy. If you ever find that within the list of things I give you, you're not super interested in anything, it's okay. What I'd like you to do is then go out and find your own source. So let's say, for example, this week I haven't posted anything that's really like science-y. So if you're like, I know we have some biology majors. So if you're like, I really want to think about free will and science, okay, go find a source, post that information in task 2, right? In the discussion thread, say, okay, so none of these things really interested me. So here's the 2 sources that I found on my own. And this is what I found about them. Does that make sense? Okay. In task 2, you're going to use this prompt, okay? And you're going to use these sources up here, okay, and to answer the prompt, okay? So you're gonna think about chapter 4 and the concept of free will. You're going to choose 1 or 2 of the sources to engage with or find your own, and then you're going to answer the question by supporting it with those sources. Okay. And again, directly into the forum. And you'll see from this point out, a lot of assignments will go directly into the forum up into the essay. Okay. Let's do one more thing before we leave today. So we've got week 8, which we just reviewed. Then we have week 9. Oh goodness. I thought your spring break was week 10. My bad. It's next week. That's so exciting. Okay. Enjoy spring break. Okay. And then you come back on week 10 to discuss the nature of God, okay? And then 11, you're discussing God and human action. Now, in week 12, okay, I want to highlight this because in week 12, I'm giving you like a mini project that week to help you prepare for the final project, okay? So I'm going to post a video about week 12. I'll probably go ahead and just post it on the week 12 tab, okay? The assignment for that week. So if you're interested in like wanting to know about that, look ahead, watch the video, okay? All right, and then week 13, we're going to do a personal philosophy revision. Do you remember the narrative you wrote at the beginning? What you're going to do is revise it, but you're going to use some of these sources and concepts that you've learned to see if anything's changed for you, okay? Then we move into the final stage of the class. That is the next week, week 14, you're going to develop an annotated bibliography, and I have provided supports for you if you're not sure what that is. It's okay if you don't know what it is. I provided supports, and I will help you through that process. And you're outlining your essay, okay, for your project, your choice of topic plus your real world context. Week 15, you're submitting that. Week 16, you're preparing for your final presentation. And week 17, you're submitting that final presentation. So this is going to really start moving quickly. All right. So that's why I just wanted to outline all of this with you. Know that I'm here to support you. And if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. When we get into unit, I know we haven't had any bonus discussion groups so far, okay? And just know that on my end, I've got kind of multiple things going on in my own life, so it's been hard for me to plan those. Know that I do still plan to have a discussion group, especially as we get toward your own project, okay? That way you'll be able to ask questions directly. Again, anytime you have a question, email me. We'll schedule a time. We'll meet. I'm always here for you. Okay. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Okay.